I didn't think it would be on yet. Hello, Smash! Hi, guys! So many people have actually came. Hello, we're so excited. If you don't know what we are doing today, they'll learn about idols.
Hey, idol!
Is there any idol fans in the crowd? Yo, I see some idol fans. I see them. Any idols in the crowd?
Idols?
Oh, I spot one. Yo, that's my favorite idol. Cam is my Oshi in Brisbane. No, I see another idol. Any other idols in the crowd? Yo, Brian, my favorite idol. KRiSTY. If you're unsure what we're doing today, we're just going to be talking about idols and how to start as an overseas idol, or as the flashy term is these days, Kaigai idol. You might have seen it on TikTok, in a good way or a bad way. You would have seen the term, I'm assuming, on the internet in the past year or so. They've really blown up overseas, like in America, Canada. But before we get into that, we're just going to introduce ourselves as well, because you need to know who we are if you don't know already. Let's start from this side.
Hey, hello everyone! My name is Sunny. I don't drop the resume often, but here we go. I am Fable's Pink member and leader. I've been around in the Oz Idol community for 5 years plus now. I do a lot of events, I do a lot of performing, and I am also a qualified costume designer. I have a diploma in costume design. Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about that. Yeah.
When are you performing today?
So I am a part of Fable, and we will be performing on the performance stage at 4:15. It's going to be very energy, so come and have a good time. Hello. I'm Lace. I am a purple member of Noxia, but also before we just debuted in October last year, and before then I was a solo idol for a couple of years.
And when are you performing this weekend, Lace?
Noxia will be performing tomorrow at 11 a.m.
So everyone has to be here at 11 a.m. Okay? This is the rules. I don't make them. I just follow them. Okay? We follow the rules. Hello, my name is KRiSTY. I'm a soloist couple idol from Melbourne. I used to live here. I used to be a part of the Fable gang, and then I moved away for work. So now I'm a soloist. We're down in Melbourne. Is there anyone from Melbourne here?
Yeah!
We're trying to get the scene going down there. It's real. Oh, thank you for the jumps. I see you, babe. I see you. We're trying to get the scene going down there. So if you're from Melbourne, come to a show. Come to Anamaga. Wink, wink. It's going to be really fun. I've been doing idol stuff since about 2016, 2017. So I'm an old coon in the community. Everyone knows me as mum or dad, whichever they want to say. And yeah, I will be performing today at 3:45. It's going to be really fun. You have to come. It's the hall. Thank you.
Hi everyone, lovely to see you all. My name is PENGI. I am the Pink member of EIMI's project. We are a Brisbane-based idol group, and we are actually coming into our 10th anniversary this year. So we've been around the block a little bit. It's been a long time. My personal role in the group is that I am a graphic designer. I handle all of our match production, and this is actually my day job as well. So I am a graphic designer, marketer, and branding consultant, and I have a degree in that as well. So I'm really excited to share all my knowledge with you guys today.
Yeah, what's up? I'm the last member of this panel. My name's Amy, and I do solo original music, and I'm also a part of Citrus Plus. We're also performing today at 4 p.m. If you guys haven't stopped by the performance stage all the way over there, please do. There's so many amazing performances all weekend. And yeah, I'm just happy to yap to y'all about I don't know, what we love.
Yeah, we love to yap.
We
Yeah,
love
and
to
if you
yap.
haven't seen the performance stage, it's actually insane this year. Please, if you have any chance idol and where do I start? So we all wanted to touch a little bit on this before we get into specifics. But for the overseas idol scene, it's very much, if you're passionate about it, you can do it. Pick up a mic, learn some lyrics, learn a dance, do red eye circulation. It's like a must-have at this point, honestly. Lily was doing it upstairs earlier and I was like, wow, this is like muscle memory, perfect. If you want to do idols, you can do idols. It's very much that simple. You don't have to make it super complicated. It doesn't have to be like this whole inner turmoil. No, just do it. Don't just do it. Just get into it. And the scene is very accepting as well. There's lots of community spaces that you can join. Twitter is a very good hub, I think, and Instagram. If you are an idol and you want to join, we have a Discord, the idol support of New Zealand, and Australia. If you want to join, please come find me after the panel. I can add you into it if you're not already in there. And yeah, I think let's get into, everyone's going to talk about their niche today, aka our government assigned them a niche and they're going to talk about it. First up, Grace, tell us about your confidence. How do we find it?
So when thinking of the topic, finding your confidence, I kind of steered that into the direction of song choices because it's a huge part of being an idol. That's literally all you're performing. So your song choice is very important. It's good to have a mix of a repertoire of cover songs. So on the slide, I have examples both of songs that a lot of groups cover, songs that people really, really love. And it's kind of like a community thing, like we said, Renee, like everyone kind of knows these songs, and so like, if like you can do them, obviously, but also like if people want to do a collaboration, you can jump into that, learn something that everyone loves. But also if you perform on a stage, the people in the audience, obviously they know it, so they'll know the calls, they'll give you the energy, something that they love. But also it's good to have individual songs that a lot of people don't really know. Don't be afraid to do something that's out of the box, that's not the norm that other groups do. It can be really scary because you go, oh my god, I'm going to do this song and I wonder if anyone's going to call to it, if anyone's going to cheer, like what if they don't know it, like that's fine.
Make it suffer. Make it one.
They'll make it up on the fly. They will do it. They know their like stuff. Like they know all the calls, they'll fit it in. And if they don't do it the first time, that's okay. Do it again and they'll hear it and go, oh, right, such and such, we did this last show. We're prepared now. So songs we all love, examples up there if you're wondering.
Everyone knows
Inuneko by Waka.
It's been around, at least the synth scene, I think since like BGS days. We're talking prehistoric idol community.
So much fun.
It's very fun. It's very fun to
Yeah, and Symphony by Week, Kaigai by Honeyworks, Odemase by Festive. They're just really good classics. And then there's more, obviously. I can fit them all on the slide, like Luka Night Fever, Any Rotation, like so many. I had to really nitpick. Yeah, and then next to it, there's more individual songs that I personally put on there when I know this song from this specific group's performance. So Fiesta from Fable. I love, I'm obsessed with that song. I didn't know it until they performed it, and I was like, what is this? I need this on my daily playlist.
It's a good part about doing new songs at shows and like introducing different genres and different groups. And then the other idols are like, oh, yo, this is kind of sick. What other songs does this group have? And then you get really good music taste. That's how it blossoms.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there's there's a tune example. I don't know how to say the title.
Upper liner. What's the name?
Yeah.
Upper liner.
Okay. Well, I love that song. Every time it comes up, I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. Like,
Shout out to Upper liner.
and like Media Mirage, Mad Game by Mad Medicine. I knew Mad Medicine beforehand, but seeing Blood Rush perform it, I was just like, but a lot of people didn't know this song. So it was nice that I was in a pit where I knew something and then everyone else was appreciating it. And then two examples from myself. Knockout by Dr. Piano is a song that Mike performed. We were very nervous about that one. We were like, no one's going to know this song. It's fun for us to perform, and that's great. And debut, we performed it, and the pit went wild. And we were like, do they know this song? Do they know it? And afterwards we asked, and they're like, no, you guys were really vibing with it, so we were really vibing with it. And I was like, oh, okay. So like your energy that you put into the song is just as important as the song choice. Yes, you can do a song that everyone knows and everyone loves, but like if you're not putting your own energy and your own piece into that song, it's not going to be as interesting. So it's good to have a balance of both songs that everyone knows and individual songs. But the main thing, all the songs that you do, you need to put your energy, your passion of being an idol into those songs. Because that's what gets the audience excited, it gets the pit keen to do their calls. That's like the number one thing. And if you have that passion in your song choices, you will get more confidence dancing and singing on the stage. Practice can only do so much. That passion should drive you to perform better and harder and stronger and crazier sometimes.
Yes. These are all really good, like, song recommendations also.
Yes.
Just saying. Just saying. Let's go to the next one.
Nice. Can I add something?
It's me.
Can I add something?
Oh, you can absolutely add
sorry.
something. Please jump into
Run
it.
it back.
Oh,
The other thing
back.
that's really important, it's written at the top but it wasn't touched on, it's really, really important to have these songs on the right because they set you apart from everyone else. If everyone is doing Oide Base and Inuneko and all of those songs, how do you pick which group to see? All the sets are the same. So by doing songs that you like and you're passionate about, not only do you get a really energetic, fun set that you love and everyone's going to feed off that energy, it's also going to be different. So I'm going to go see Etchu because they're doing Upper Liner. But I'm going to go see Fable because they're doing Fiesta, and I'm going to go see Noxia because they're doing Knockout, not because all three of you are doing Inuneko. They're great warm-up songs, and you should definitely incorporate them, and they're really good for big events like this with new people, but the ones on the right are arguably the most important ones. Yeah.
Anyone else want to touch on this?
I mean, this kind of goes with the original music as well. You introduce things to your community, and they get to know them the more you perform. Yeah, I think like out of our original songs, I think Love Language is probably a crowd favorite, and now when we perform that, everybody knows it. So, and we've had other people cover it as well, which has been absolutely amazing. So don't be afraid to introduce new songs.
Yeah, if your goal is to have a really loud and vibrant audience, you've got to give them a few goes and you've got to feed them the energy. So you've got to do it 100% regardless of what your audience is doing. And then you've got to do it 3 times and they're going to start.
Don't call off a song straight away. If you do it once and it's kind of like, oh, then it wasn't very energetic, don't just keep trying. Just keep doing it.
A few times.
They will pick it up.
I agree. Okay. And go to
Yeah.
one for Amy. Is Amy
I niche. The niche. I feel like what we were literally just talking about really fits into finding your niche, because I guess when you are trying to think of, you know, what kind of songs can I do to set me apart or stand out, I guess, that kind of just fits into the theme of like finding your niche. So basically, what makes you you, what makes you unique unique and what makes people want to come see you. So yeah, basically this is my piece de resistance, my little flow chart. I guess if you're like really just dipping your feet in the water starting out, so what I kind of find has always helped, or like what I could maybe recommend to anyone trying to find like I guess what they want to do is going from a starting point. I can't see, sorry, I'm blind, everyone.
No glasses.
I've got no glasses. It's rough for a blind girl. So yeah, starting from I guess 0, sometimes you will know what you like. So you'll look into I guess the idol genre and you'll be like, oh wow, I really like Inuneko by Wasta, for example. I can be a cat girl idol. I like cat songs, so maybe I'll make my theming around like cats, and that's kind of your selling point, that's your niche. And then yeah, so then from there, when you know what you like, keep performing, keep trying it out. I guess if you do it 3 times, it doesn't stick, maybe it's time to go back to the drawing board. So then you'll go, oh, maybe this is not my niche, or I don't know what my niche is yet, I don't know what will make me me. So then you go to the research stage and you kind of look to see what's out there. That can go from anything from like consuming idol media, looking at your favorite groups, looking at, I guess, maybe what's trending sometimes. There's different things in like the zeitgeist of like the idol genre. It's like maybe a group that's alternative rock is trending and you could see it and you're like, ooh, I really want to try alternative rock. Maybe I'll be an alternative rock idol. Or maybe you'll be like, oh, there's like EDM, there's rave. I feel like rave is really popular at the moment. So you could be like a rave idol and you try that out and that could really stick for you. So yeah, it's just like a never-ending circle of like kind of trying to find what you like, what makes you, what makes you successful. Like even to this day, I feel like personally as a group, as an idol, like I'm still trying to find out what makes me me, and like it's okay to feel like, oh, maybe this is not what is good for me, and then just going back to square one. It's never too late to even change your niche if it feels like it doesn't suit you, because I guess we all grow as people. So yeah, I guess another aspect of what I've put on my slides is like niche. Your niche can look like anything. So the type of costumes you wear, the type of songs you perform, as we were saying, your branding, your overall theme, or it could even be like a personality trait, like no announcement.
Attention, Connor, I'm looking for a boy named Connor. Please come to marketing. HQ, your mom's waiting for you.
Sorry guys, I gotta show.
Please come to Call 1.
Oh no.
My mom needs me.
Call 1. Thank you, Connor.
But yeah, as I was saying, like, I know you could be that idol that likes, I feel like this is going to be a bit unsafe. Okay, no. I'm going to take that. You could be...
You could be an idol who likes penguins.
You could be an idol that likes penguins, and that's your whole selling point. But yeah, it could look like anything, and I've just put like, I guess, examples of different types of idols that exist. It's got a little bit truncated, but as you can see, there's rock idols, there's cat idols. You could be like a classic idol, you could be an otaku idol, or you could even be like a VTuber or a net idol. That is also an idol. That is also a niche within the industry. So it can really look like anything. And I guess my last few tips for like anyone that's just put their foot into like the water and you're just trying to find out where you are. I think it's really important to remember, don't be afraid of failure. Trial and error is everything. Like sometimes you're going to try something, it doesn't work out. I would say don't give up, keep on trying. I would say also work to your strengths. So if you know you're good at something, you know, like I'm a good singer or I'm a really good dancer, but maybe my singing's not the best. You could definitely be a more dancing focused idol and do a lot of like really cool choreography and just work into that, and that'll be you. And yeah, sometimes you can be creative with, I guess, how you want to portray yourself. So you can combine different things, like you could be a rock idol that also is really cute and just be like, oh, it's Gap Moe. So yeah, it really just like depends. And yeah, the most important thing is overnight successes are made over 10 years, and sometimes success is not overnight, and I think it's important to remember that. Yeah, that's my advice. Thank you.
I like it. Does anyone else like to touch on niches?
I have some things that very much relate to this, to say that. I think I was talking about later.
Haha.
Alright, this is my zone. So, these things don't have to be this rigid, but these are basically, these tie into what Amy was saying a lot. These are questions that you can ask yourself to actually help you find that niche and find your personal brand. Asking yourself why you're doing what you're doing and why you want to pursue being an idol is sometimes a really difficult question to answer, but it is a question that can really help inform your direction and your goals and where you decide to take your idol career, so to say. So if you're a soloist, this is a little bit easier because all you have to do is look internally, but it's a little bit more difficult when you're working with a group. So it can be really, really important to ask this question and have that discussion with your group members at the beginning. This is something that AU's never did at the start. This is our personal brand has been a very evolutionary process over the 10 years that we've been together. Many people have come and gone in that time, and things have changed multiple times. So, you know, like Amy said, it's very much okay to change, but asking yourself these questions at the beginning and being on the same page from the start is really, really helpful to know at the beginning. So I wanted to share that tidbit of information with you. Our perception and personality, a lot of people in the idol community describe this as like your idol persona. I struggle with having a persona personally, so I tend to refer to it in these terms instead. But like, I'm an idol who likes penguins. I have a store called PENGI store where I sell every pigment with penguins on it, and that's kind of my vibe.
PENGI store, shop all the cute things.
Come see me at my booth at Kaigai Festival at 109. Anyway, so all of these things are going to tie into what your branding actually looks like as well. So all of this information is just really important for you to figure out first before you dive into graphic design. So, yes, I am the first one. So, these are a couple of really helpful graphic design elements to figure out to help you keep all of your communication online and at physical events consistent and matching and make you recognizable and stand out from the crowd. So, this is the AIMI's logo. This is the third one. Like, we've been here for a while, so we've gone through a couple of iterations of logo, and it's changed as we've changed, which is quite normal. It is very useful to have multiple iterations of a logo, just because, like, we have our beautiful Big Planet logo, but it doesn't always fit on a small social media graphic, for example. So I have the alternate version, which is just that little landscape one, very useful for being able to still put our branding where it needs to go, and it fits in a small space and it's a little bit more scalable. So having something, it's nice to have a detailed logo, but also making sure that you have multiple versions so that things can be scaled up and down is a good practicality aspect as well. Having a color palette that's consistent can also really add to the branding, adds recognizable. Purple is AIMI's color. We do have like an official shade of purple that we use, but sometimes it does vary depending on what we're doing. And you know, sometimes we completely go off the bat and like, you know, recently we released a single called Happy Hour and everything's pink. There's still the color, like the costumes of purple and the AIMI's purple still winds its way into it, but it's a bit of a different palette than what we're used to. So that was for like a specific project, I guess. So, but then when we're not working on a specific project, everything always comes back to that kind of purple. Fonts. no need to be like super strict with this, but I find that having a couple that you've chosen that you can always go back to when you're creating materials is really useful. So generally having a display or a header font, a subheading, and a body text. I like to make my subheaders and my body text match personally. There's a lot of tools, if you're not sure where to go with this, there's a lot of tools you can use online to help you match fonts together. I generally I like a sans serif because they're very readable, they're very accessible. I know fonts, like using body fonts with serifs, so like, you know, the little guys on there that if you're dyslexic, it can actually be really difficult to read serif fonts. So I like to use a sans serif, and our fancy crazy fonts like the one I've used there, those ones are for your big display headers. So you don't want to be using those fonts in like a really small context because they won't be able to be read. So if you want to use a crazy font, make it huge, make it the centerpiece, and then complement it with your simpler fonts. And the graphic elements, this is like complementary elements. We actually have a pack of these that I have made that I kind of use to decorate all of our materials. They all match. We use the EIMI's rocket, and we have a couple of other bits and pieces that kind of match with our aesthetic that we use to complement social media tiles, posters, flyers, all of that type of material. So this is my last kind of little slide with some tips. So information hierarchy. People tend to read top to bottom, left to right, and it is important to make sure that your most important information, like your dates and your venues, are clear and readable. And I was saying this to everybody before, but I actually tend to, while I'm making our social media tiles, I send them to myself on WhatsApp and open them on my phone to make sure that they can actually be read in a tiny mobile phone screen. Because it's easy to overlook that if you're working on something on a large computer screen. And yeah, like we have lots of different, like we have a lot of variety in the types of things that we post and the types of things that we use. If we get a beautiful photo like this one, our Cube Effect live graphic, we got this gorgeous photo from one of our summer party performances, and I decided that it just needed to be center stage, so there's hardly any text around there. The picture does all of the talking. The picture is what catches the eye on the feed. So whereas Planet 9's the total opposite, there was no photo, and I just created all of those graphics because we were doing like a mission launch type of situation, so it was all very thematic, and it being a bit busier was sort of like what I was going for. Yeah, I also like to balance the feed with, like if you go and look at the Instagram grid, I like to balance things so that we don't post too many graphics in a row or too many photos in a row. I like to make sure that things are kind of mixed up a little bit so that it's pleasant to look at when you scroll through it. You might have noticed they also grade all of our photos very blue and purple to those, like to that palette that we have in like our branding. Yeah, that's the 101 masterclass from PENGI, I guess.
I think I also wanted to touch on this. Graphic design is not my passion. Just, you know, Canva is my best friend. And even then it doesn't like me, so.
Canva should be everyone's best friend.
Canva's
That's
great.
coming from a professional, I actually do need to add that knowing how to use Adobe software when you're just doing this type of thing is not necessary. I pay for Adobe because I'm an industry professional, and I don't think anyone else should pay for it. Use Canva.
It's a good option if you're not, if you're not good at it. You can just make it work and then send it to like your friends. Like, hey, does this make sense to you? Can you read this? It's really important because I find some groups will post a beautiful photo, beautiful graphic. You cannot read anything on it because the text is like white on a white background. You're like, I don't know what that says, and I'm also a little bit dyslexic, and this doesn't make sense to me. So you got to make sure it's readable for everyone. There's a lot of neurodivergent people in our community. There are quite a large community with that. So you've got to make sure that everyone can get the information that they need, and everyone can see what you're trying to do and what you're trying to give them. So I always try and send things to Sunny, my resident neurodivergent, and go, hey, can you read this? And they're like, nah, alright, let me back to Canva. it's important to get things tested by people.
Also been staring at it for so long, you start to lose, so I have to send them as well. I'd be like, hey guys, what does this look like? Is it good? I've been looking at it for 8 hours.
I will make an extremely glaring typo and just not see it, because I've been staring at it for too long.
The other point I want to add, coming from an event organizer perspective, please have a square version of your logo and a longer one. When you only have one or the other, it makes our lives very difficult trying to put you on the poster. And the other thing is, if you have a colored logo, it's got a lot of colors in it. If it doesn't have a white outline, I can't put it on stuff. So it's got to have a white outline, or you need a black and white version of it. So like, for instance, the Fable triangle is like this crazy, colorful thing, right? But you can't put it on everything because the colors get lost. But there is a white version of it. So we can put it on a black background, we can put it on a red background, you can go anywhere. But when you're trying to match them all, so for like Idol Force, where there's 6 acts, and we've got to put all the logos down the bottom, if some of them are long and some of them are this and some of them are that, it's really hard to make it look uniform, and we don't want anyone's logo to look weird or out of place. So having those 2 options covers all your bases, so square and rectangle.
Somebody really cool did Fable's logo.
Someone so cool did Fable's logo.
Really cool. Looking at you. Anything else you want to touch on with graphics or stuff? Good. Alright, next up we've got some costuming stuff. Yo, I didn't realize I was on this one.
Wow, on this twice.
Whoa!
Hello everybody. Alright, it says debut costumes, but this system is really how I design and plan out any costume. There is just a few extra things you should think of if it's your very first costume. So typically, I would argue that your debut costume is your most important costume because it's setting the tone for what you're going to do. People have never seen you before, they haven't seen you performing, they need to be able to glance at you and get an idea of whether they want to watch you or not. You're going to be their vibe. If you're going to perform like a rock edgy set and you're wearing like a petticoat and it's pink and frilly, you're not going to attract the right audience straight away. I'm not saying you can't do that, but it's something that you should think about when you're planning. So these are the 4 main areas that I consider, and they kind of work in order as well, of things that you should think about when you're finalizing your design for a costume. So the first one is function. What does your costume need to do? So for a lot of people, like for me, I have a lot of skin allergies. I have to be really careful about what fabrics I wear. So that is the first priority. It has to be able to be lined in a fabric. That means I can dance in it. You know, or some people get hot, so they need a costume that's going to be a lot more breathable, they're a lot less covered than others. It really depends a lot. Do you need to be able to take it on and off quickly? Do you have a quick change? Do you not usually have quick changes? You need to work out those kind of rules first before you can even start designing. Another big factor of that is cost. If you have a really small budget, you need to know in the beginning, because you can't design this amazing costume and then be like, oh, I need a new design now because I can't make it, it's not within my budget. So function is the first thing. Second is branding. This is the next most important. This is to do with your niche, like Amy was talking about, and how you're presenting yourself to others. So for debut costumes, or any costumes really, they need to be recognizable. If I can't see across the con and go, oh, is that PENGI from AU's? Oh, is that a Citrus Plus member? It's not a good costume. Especially if you're doing events like cons, because if you look like a Love Live character, or you look like you're blending in a little bit too much, it's not marketing for you, so it could be doing better. It doesn't make it a bad costume, but it could be working harder for you, you know? And this can also be really relevant to your members individually. Like when you're all on stage, is the uniform helping? Like the uniformity helping? Is it better if they're more individual? Are your members very different? Are you all like a very synced clean room? What's the vibe happening there? And it's also got to be cohesive with all your digital graphics. If your logo looks like one thing, your costume is completely different, and then you try to make a graphic, you're going to struggle a little bit. So do consider your branding first when you do a costume as well. The next point is flattering. When you wear it, do you feel confident? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel like you look good? There is no steadfast rules when it comes to fashion about what looks nice on someone. And when I do commissions for people, they struggle with this a lot, because they'll ask me, well, does it look good? I'm like, well, do you feel like you look good in it? Because it's very, very subjective. Some people like to look very hourglass, and some people like to look more triangle shaped. It's really, there is no correct answer. So as long as you feel confident in it, you feel pretty in it, it's going to help a lot. You should also highlight your strengths and weaknesses, again similar to the niche participate. You're a really strong dancer, but you're wearing this long, floofy dress and it's covering all your footwork. That's not really helping, it's hindering, or it's going to cover all your hard work. Whereas if you're a singer and you don't move around as much, perhaps something that's more dramatic is going to add to your performance more. So thinking about this and flattering both your aesthetic and also your body type and also your performance style is really, really important. The final one is aesthetic, and this one is not so relevant for a debut costume because this comes into theming. So you do your debut costume, which should be your branding costume. The theme should be your brand. Like the Fable debut costume is this jacket here, and it's not themed anyway. This is what Fable's about. This is our main branding. We're space uniform, you know. But the aesthetic would be more theming. So we did a Lunar New Year costume set. The theme was Lunar New Year, so it had to be Fable branding combined with Lunar New Year. So they still needed to be recognizable, so I could look across the con and be like, oh, that's Mayhem in a Lunar New Year costume. So it's still going to have the same kind of branding to it. So for us, Fable as an example, we have a huge branding in our colors, and the brightness of our colors and our kind of lack of black and white is really what our costumes are themed around. So our Lunar New Year costumes are very yellow, red, pink. So if you wanted to do like a maid costume or something else, you've got to combine that theme with your branding to make sure you stand out and people can recognize you. Because if you're wearing a maid costume and I'm going to look across the con or I'm going to look on the internet, I'm not going to recognize you, I'm not going to remember you, and that's really important if you're trying to build a community. Because I want to be able to go, oh, I'm so excited, and run over and talk to you. Or people will remember and be like, oh, weren't they on the stage earlier? I'll go and talk to them and see what they're about. So they're really, really important. Yeah. Oh, I do have an next slide. But let's do a case study. EIMIs were very kind to let me use their costumes as an example because they've been around for 10 years. So they're really helpful in that regard. We've got a big timeline. So on the left is their first debut costumes when they first started doing Original Idol. And on the right is the re-debut where they kind of rebranded a bit and did original music. And as you can see, they're quite different. So the ones on the left, super cute. They look lovely. I love them. If I saw that across the con though, I'd think you were in the Omoi cosplay, and I probably wouldn't realize you were an Original Idol. And it's not quite very, it's not memorable. So they're still cute costumes, and if that's what you've got, go for it. Idol is very much use what you can and just get better. But there could have been some points that might have helped with that a little bit. Whereas the ones on the right, if I see the Hoshiena Locket costume, I know exactly who that is, and I know exactly what their music's going to sound like. I know what vibe I'm in for. So it's much more helpful, it's much more recognizable. And then you do, oh, we've got our sparkly idol one that we pull out for events sometimes. We've got our maid costumes that they just did as well, but their maid costumes are very AU's maid costumes. Like they look very unique and they've got the AU selling point to them, so they're still recognizable. I could see the happy hour costume and I'd still go, oh, that's AU. Not, or is that a cafe maid from the Smash Cafe? So it's hard to do and it takes some time, but try to think about that in particular when you're designing costumes. The recognizability of them is a huge aspect. I think gets lost a lot.
Those costumes are, I want to say, 6 or 7 years old.
Not really old.
Even the Rocket costumes. The Rocket was our original music debut, which was now in, it was a while ago. I think it was
2020, 21, 21.
It was the year of our 5th anniversary, so they're 4 years old. They're 4 years old. Yeah.
That's insane. Time is super, dude. That's actually insane. I also wanted to just go back to you real quick. Obviously, you need to have something that's going to identify with you and your brand. I don't feel like it has to be this amazing, big costume, your first go. Like, your identifying brand is you've got some really sick streetwear and it's got your colors on it, it looks good on a stage, you can move in it, it's comfortable, use it. Like otherwise, it doesn't have to be like, I spent $300 on this dress and now I'm going to spend another $300 on this dress and I'm going to have another, like costumes get expensive, especially conditioning them. And if you're supporting like our local scene, like there's a lot of people who do commissions in Australia for idol costumes, looking directly this way. Also Marmalade, who's now in Japan, but 8. She's still Australian. You can still commission her for Australian Idol costumes. There's so many around that you can go to, but it does get very pricey very fast. So if you just want to like, you know, wear some cool streetwear, oh yeah.
We do a lot with a little in terms of recognizability. That doesn't mean it has to be a crazy, overly complicated handmade costume. Some other really good examples that are simpler are Pearlescent Stars debut costumes at Smash 2022. They just had safe looking, so they were really simple, but on the back the collar was a star, and that was a really unique detail that I still remember years later. That was very, very cool. Another great example I just had when I forgot. Oh, Cereal Process today have new costumes, and they're quite simple, and they're quite simply made, but the rainbow stripes on them, I haven't seen that before. It looks really cool. They're really easy to identify. You know, I saw them after their stage set, I'd absolutely be able to pick them. All of the same race costumes are amazing. They're so good.
Do we have anything else on costumes? No?
Oh, I was going to say as well, we actually have another Aussie in Japan who is making idol costumes.
Very stupid.
At the moment, Meki.
Oh gosh, I forgot about Miss. Oh
yeah,
no.
Miss Meki, she's AMU's alumni, and she makes very beautiful idol costumes. And actually, if you have seen or are seeing Crazy Fantasy at all this weekend, Meki made their costumes. They're amazing.
Love Meki. Oh my god, I forgot about Meki. Oh my god, Meg, I'm so sorry. With that, we're gonna go into that is Q&A. Q&A. Do you have any questions?
Maybe we'll answer.
Or anything, but for anyone, if you're an idol or even if you're a fan. Oh, I see a question over here. I'm gonna come run it.
KRiSTY's on the way.
I'm on the way.
KRiSTY's on the way.
I don't like stairs. Hello, what's your question?
Hello, I just want to ask, how do you find your group members at the beginning? Because like, if they, unless they have debuted as solo idols, otherwise, how do you pick the person and how could you tell they could become a good idol?
Scouting. How do you scout for a group?
We can talk about this one.
Talk about that.
A few years ago, Fable did an audition to get some new members, which is how we got Mayhem and Naya. It was a pretty involved process. We did two separate things. So we initially put out a form, which was sort of an interest, like submit a video, tell us you're keen. But for us, because we were looking for specific people and we were already a little bit established, we also did an in-person audition, which was great for a whole variety of reasons. The first one was straight off the bat, people who said they were going to come didn't come, they completely ghosted us. So
I think we had
that's
like
good to know.
three. What was
there
it,
were like
3 or 4?
people who just didn't turn up, despite being really keen. And then what we did at the audition was actually very specific. So we had everyone do a little solo performance to sort of showcase themselves, what they liked, what they thought they were good at. And it was, none of this was like to be critically marked, it was more so to see what people's strengths were and whether that would work with the strengths of the group members that we had, because we already had people. So trying to find someone that works with who you already have is the tricky part. So it was very much seeing who matched in. Another one we did was we gave everyone a dance to learn a week before, which is a really quick turnaround, and to see how quickly they could learn it. Like, it wasn't a problem if they learned it longer, but that was something we needed to know. Like, are they going to need more time? Are they going to need less time? And then we had them dance it with our members. So I, at the time, was the really energetic one that we struggled to blend people with. So I got up and danced with everyone at the audition to kind of see what the vibe was like. And then we also did an interview, and we talked with them, like, what are your goals? What do you like? What are you thinking? Why did you audition? And we ended up with our members that way.
It's good to vibe check people.
Yeah.
If you're not going to get along with them, you're not going to want to be in a group with them, and then there's going to be problems.
Yeah, because the best technical person who arrived might not necessarily be the best fit for your group. You're trying to find someone who works well with you. So you're looking for similar work ethics, similar values. I think Fable in particular, we're all incredibly different. We all like really different things. We all do really different things. Well, our strengths are all very different things. But we all have similar values and similar work ethics, and that's why it works.
Yeah, We probably could do like one more question. What? Any others? Do I have to go to Sunny's brother? Please, anybody else? Oh my gosh. No? Oh, you guys. Yes? What's your question?
I was just going to elaborate on that first question. The concept of starting. Where would you find members to even begin with? Is it group chats, or is there areas, places that people go to even start looking for members? Because those auditions are fantastic.
Yeah.
It's less useful for a new starter, I would think.
Sunny's brother would like to be an idol.
As KRiSTY mentioned before, we have the Idol Soda Discord. Come and chat with us, we can join. It is for idols and aspiring idols. So it's for sharing tips, tricks, talk about events, stuff like that. The other way is just got to get on the internet, and you just got to try and find people. We're not a huge community, we're a large community these days, but you've got to outsource. You're trying to find people who aren't here already, because if you know them already, you just put them in your group. So you're trying to find new people. Comms are a great way. There's a lot of people here we don't normally see. Trying to reach out.
Yeah, I think a big thing is go to idol shows if you can. A lot of people that go to shows love idols and potentially would like to do it. They're probably just, they won't like you. They don't know where to start. They don't have other people that also want to meet idols, and they're just kind of like, I'm just going to go to shows, and then you might meet people and then you might vibe really well and go on from there.
On that point, if you're going to idol shows to scout, please don't. Don't do that.
It's not appropriate to self-promote
No.
at shows, so you cannot be
Please
like,
do not
I'm
be
from such and
self-promoting.
such, I'm looking for new members. You can make friends with them outside of the show.
Yeah, so if you're going to a show, obviously connecting with people is great. Don't be like going up to everyone and being like, hey, this is my new group. You're going to come to my show, right? Because it's rude for the idols you're going to support, and also it puts that weird thing on whoever you're talking to that they're like, can I say no? Is that
It's the person on the spot. They're not there for that.
Yeah, they're not there for that. Yes, I agree. I think shows are a really good thing. It also means once you're in the community as well, it's supportive. We'll come support you in the right ways. Also, if you start posting online, people underestimate how much you can find and connect with other people online. I think I started posting on my YouTube about a year ago when I first moved to Melbourne. Oh wait, it's been more than a year now. A year and a half ago. And I've met so many other idols both in Melbourne and overseas because they'll see my videos popping up on their feed and they're like, I love this song. I'm like, yo, me too. You want to collab? And then we get to collab and then you make more friends. Collabs are fun. If they're stressful, get out.
The
They
stressful
should not
comes
be
to
stressful.
tomorrow's panel, and KRiSTY will tell you how to fix that.
Yes, touching on that because we're running out of time. If you've enjoyed today and if you've learned things today, we also have an Idol 102 panel tomorrow. We're going to talk about original music, where to start, all that sort of fun stuff, collab etiquette, all that fun jazz. We're on at 3:45 p.m. tomorrow, I think.
Yes, that's correct.
It's correct.
45 to 4:45.
Same stage.
Yeah, we're like the last panel over here, so feel free to come by. Tomorrow we'll have myself and Sunny again. We'll also have Lily, Nae, Azusa. Is that it? Goombi, my little Gumby. Gumby will be here too. Dooms will be here as well. So there's going to be a few more of us, but please come by. If you have any questions, if you wanted to join the Idol server on Discord, if you're interested in starting being an idol, please come find me at any point throughout the weekend and I'll add you in. Unfortunately, it's not open to fans or anything because it's just meant to be a safe space for idols to get critique, advice, anything like that, share their opinions like that. Anyone up here, I think everyone here is in Discord, so you can come approach us at any point throughout the weekend. We'll help you out. But yeah, I think that's it, right? Yeah.
Thank you very much, everybody. I wanted to say as well, if you do happen to join the Oz Idols server, if you ever have any questions about EMUs or about graphic design, please tag me. I'm more than happy to help.
Yes, everyone loves answering questions. So if you join the Discord and you post, but as soon as we have time, we're usually like, here's 8 paragraphs.
Yeah, everyone loves writing.
No joke, I'm not even kidding. Like if you DM us, we don't always see it and we can't always get to it, but we try our best and we genuinely do ask questions. I know a lot of people are always scared to send us a message and be like, hey, how did you do that? So we're usually not that fast to message because we're kind of busy, but we will usually reply as best we can. Most of us.
Thanks for coming, guys. Thank you for coming by, learning about idol stuff. I hope it was entertaining. Yes, please come back tomorrow, 3:45. We're going to talk about other things. Please stay for the next panel. I kind of want to stay for the next panel. I'm not a VTuber, but
This is relevant if you want to be
this
an
is
idol.
very relevant. Any VTuber idols, any net idols, original music is
Original music.
Thank you so much, everybody.